Imagine rolling up at dusk, your silhouette framed by streetlights, the roar of a supersport engine echoing in the air. That's the first impression the 2026 Honda CBR250RR aims to deliver. It's more than just a quarter-liter sports bike, it's a statement, aggressive, refined, and ready to carve corners with precision. In this narrative, we explore what makes this machine a compelling package of style, speed, and control. When Honda first introduced the CBR250RR in various markets, it was already a standout for packing twin cylinders and premium hardware into the accessible 250cc class. Over successive updates, it has grown sharper, more potent, and more technology-laden. The 2026 iteration is expected to continue that evolution, refining what's already on offer and pushing boundaries just enough to entice riders who demand more. From its styling to its mechanical bits, the 2026 CBR250RR is about balance, bold aesthetics without excess, thrilling performance without sacrificing usability, and high-end features without being prohibitively complex. Let's break down how Honda has woven those traits into a single package. Design and aesthetics. The visual appeal of a sport bike is often the first point of connection for many riders, a promise of what lies inside. The 2026 CBR250RR carries forward Honda's aggressive speedy shape philosophy, with sharp fairings, sculpted tank surfaces, and aerodynamic detailing that doesn't just look sleek, it works. In recent updates, Honda has claimed improvements in aerodynamics around a 6% reduction in drag through subtle reshaping of cowls, winglets, and airflow channels. LED lighting, integrated mirrors, and clean front profiles lend it a modern, purposeful stance. The ergonomics aim for a sporty yet manageable posture, clip-on handlebars, mid-set pegs, compact bodywork. The rider triangle is committed, but not extreme. The idea is to let you lean into the ride rather than fight for comfort. The 790mm seat height in the recent model keeps access reasonable for many riders. Meanwhile, Honda provides a range of color schemes to let the aesthetic speak to personality, from classic red-white racing hues to matte and stealth finishes. All told, the design invites a double take, but it also hides purpose-built engineering under every line. Engine and performance. At the heart of the CBR250RR lies its parallel twin, liquid-cooled, DOHC engine. Honda has carefully tuned it over time to deliver strong mid to high RPM performance, giving riders a character that feels sporty and revvy. In its latest updates, the bike has crossed into the territory of approximately 42 PS, or roughly 41 to 42 bhp, at high RPM, along with approximately 25 Nm of torque. That's a meaningful bump above earlier versions, achieved through refinements in combustion chamber design, intake port sizing, valve timing, and friction reduction measures. To put that into perspective, it now outpaces many of its 250cc rivals in power while retaining the nimbleness intrinsic to the class. Coupled to that engine is a 6-speed gearbox, plus a slipper assist clutch to smooth downshifts and reduce rear wheel hop during aggressive deceleration. A bi-directional quickshifter up and down is included in recent models, allowing clutchless shifts for both upshifts and downshifts, a feature often reserved for higher displacement machines. In the 2026 model, we expect Honda to retain and possibly refine these systems for even smoother transitions. What does that performance feel like on the road? Expect sharp throttle response, a linear rise toward redline, and a ready appetite for corner exits. The torque curve is tuned to be usable, but the real fun comes alive when you push the engine higher. The bike is not about low-end grunt, it's about momentum, about letting RPM and chassis do the work in harmony. The top speed spec in earlier models was in the ballpark of approximately 170 to 180 km/h depending on conditions. The 2026 variant should not stray far from that range, though small gains in gearing or wind management might tweak the number slightly upward. Chassis, suspension and handling. A superb engine is nothing without the chassis and suspension to harness it, and here, Honda has been thoughtful. The CBR250RR uses a diamond or truss-style frame that balances rigidity with weight savings. Up front, a Showa inverted fork, often the separate function fork, big piston SFFBP style handles damping duties. Recent updates use 37mm internals, offering good firmness and response. In the rear, a 5-step preload adjustable monoshock with Pro-Link geometry ensures the rear end remains planted during transitions. This setup gives the 2026 CBR250RR the agility riders crave. You should expect sharp turn-ins, minimal chassis flex under load, and confidence to push deeper into corners. The wheelbase, approximately 1,389 mm in recent models, strikes a balance between nimble handling and stability. Ground clearance and geometry also contribute to a forgiving nature when riding over less than perfect surfaces, but the real domain is twisties and racetrack edges. Tires 110/70 front, 140/70 rear in most spec sheets provide a good contact patch, and the 17-inch rims strike a practical balance. The mass of the machine, curb or wet weight around approximately 168 kg, is competitive and provides a healthy power-to-weight ratio. In short, the 2026 CBR250RR is poised to reward riders who lean hard, brake deep, and trust the machine to respond. Brakes, safety and electronics. Performance demands control, and Honda layers in sufficient braking and electronic support to match. Dual-channel ABS is standard, with front and rear disc brakes smartly sized for the class. The front disc is typically a single large pedal-style rotor with a twin-piston caliper, the rear a single disc with single-piston caliper. While there's no radical electronics suite like cornering ABS or IMU-based aids in most published specs, the inclusion of ride modes, throttle-by-wire, ride-by-wire, and quick shifter already pushes the envelope for a quarter-liter machine. In recent versions, Honda provides 3 ride modes: Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, to let riders adjust throttle response and power delivery depending on conditions. In the 2026 update, we anticipate that Honda might refine the electronics, maybe adding better traction control or refined mapping, to stay competitive, but they are unlikely to overcomplicate the system, keeping the machine intuitive. User experience, comfort and practical use. One of the challenges for any sport bike is bridging track cred with daily usability. In the CBR250RR, Honda has always tried to strike that balance. With a 14.5L fuel tank, in recent models the range is reasonable for spirited highway riding or weekend escapes. The seat height, though sporty, is manageable for many riders. Combined with the ergonomics, long rides are possible, though fatigue will creep in if pushed too hard. Handling bumpier surfaces is aided by the suspension's compliance, though it's clear the bike's domain is smooth roads, twisty mountain passes, or circuit laps. The fairings and windscreen provide decent wind protection for its class, not touring grade, but enough to reduce rider fatigue at higher speeds. Maintenance and serviceability benefit from Honda's reliability pedigree. The twin engine is more complex than a single, but Honda's build quality and parts support in markets the bike sells help ease those concerns. Expect tire swaps, brake fluid changes, and valve checks to be standard intervals, nothing exotic. Comparison and competitor context. What makes the 2026 CBR250RR especially intriguing is how it stacks up against its rivals. In the 250 to 300cc sport class, bikes like the Yamaha R3, Kawasaki Ninja 250-300s, or 400 in some markets, and various KTM or CF Moto offerings vie for attention. Many of them use single-cylinder or twin layouts, with different trade-offs in torque, weight, and handling. Where the CBR250RR often shines is in its premium feel, twin-cylinder character, quick shifter, refined chassis, and detailed finishing. Its power output is competitive, and in some recent revisions it has outpaced rivals in outright HP per cc. In the 2026 version, Honda's goal will be to keep that edge, refining responsiveness, reducing friction, and maintaining balance. However, it does face strong challenges. Rivals often have broader dealer networks in certain markets or more aggressive pricing. Also, bikes like the Ninja 400 or Yamaha R7 offer additional margin for riders wanting more power, but at higher cost. The CBR250RR must retain its identity as a pure, sharp quarter-liter sport bike. Anticipated upgrades in 2026 outlook. Given recent evolutionary updates, what might Honda adjust in the 2026 CBR250RR? Here are probable areas. Refined electronics. Tuning the ride modes, possibly adding basic traction control or more precise throttle mapping to improve usability. Weight savings. Use of lighter components, perhaps a more compact exhaust, or tweaks to frame structure to shave grams. Smoother quickshifter. Further calibration to reduce shift shock, especially downshifts. Aerodynamic tweaks. New fins, winglets, or cowl-shaped changes to further reduce drag or lift, helping stability at high speeds. Ergonomic refinements. Slight repositioning of levers, foot pegs, or seat foam tweaks for better comfort without diluting sporty feel. Color and cosmetic updates. Always a possibility. New paint schemes, graphics, finishes to refresh appeal. In markets like Pakistan, the 2026 version is rumored unofficially to be priced at around 780,300 Pakistani rupees, though that's speculative and may shift depending on duties, taxes, and localization. Whether Honda will officially launch it in every market remains to be seen. In India, for instance, Honda has been cautious about introducing it despite patenting it earlier. But in markets where premium sport bikes are appreciated, the 2026 CBR250RR has strong potential to capture enthusiasts. Emotional resonance and rider appeal. Beyond numbers and components, what gives the 2026 CBR250RR its soul is the way it engages the rider. When you twist the throttle, the engine's scream, the chassis' poise, the precise feedback, all contribute to a feeling that you are in control, yet pushed at the edge. It doesn't just transport you, it invites you to dance with the curves. The styling is visceral. Every line, angle, and vent speaks of motion. The twin pipes, sharp tips, muscular tank, they tell a story of performance. For many riders, the CBR250RR embodies the dream of having race-bred traits in a streetable size. Also, owning a Honda brings reassurance, parts, reliability, and legacy. But pairing that with a machine that refuses to compromise on fun is the real reward. For younger riders stepping into the sport class, the CBR250RR offers a stepping stone to higher machines while delivering thrills at each twist of the throttle. Final thoughts. The 2026 Honda CBR250RR is not about reinventing the wheel, it's about refining, sharpening, and pushing the envelope in the 250cc sportbike world. It blends aggressive styling, robust performance, agile handling, and enough electronics to stay modern without overcomplicating. For riders who want a machine that looks the part, performs vividly, and remains usable on actual roads, this is a compelling choice. When you line up a 2026 CBR250RR at the start of a bend, hit the apex, roll on hard out of the corner, that's where it earns its name. The harmony of engine, chassis, brakes, and rider instinct make it more than a motorcycle, it becomes an extension of desire. If you use this script for your video, you can layer in real footage of cornering, engine revs, dash close-ups, and rider POV to bring it to life. And as always, when the 2026 model is officially released in your market, you can record a real-world review to compare spec to experience. Let me know if you want a tighter version for voiceover, or a breakdown by segments design, engine, ride with suggested B-roll cues.